I'm very glad today to be with you guys. I usually talk with Arabic, but today I decided to speak with English. So to share more majority of people to join in, because I'm having lots of calls and lots of emails, and people are asking me to speak with English and have certain seminars with English. So I decided to speak English today. So I like to share some skills here and to teach you guys or share this experience which we start improving our life. Let me talk about establishing rapport. How to establish with people rapport. Okay, now rapport is a very critical skill. It's one of the most important skills if you want to use it in your personal life, if you're going to use it in your business, or even with your family and friends. Because you're not living alone here, you're living with a society. There is lots of individuals with you and you're communicating with them. And there is receiving information and started sending information. So one of the qualities that you have to master in this is how to establish rapport with each other. And your outcomes is all based on the quality of your rapport in your life. Even Daniel Gorman, which is the guy in social intelligence, he says those people who are successful in their life, they master how to understand people and start dealing with them according to their understanding to the world, which is basically establishing rapport. So now creating rapport is a very important skill. As I said, once you have rapport, you can start achieving so many things in your life. As I said, even in your business, if you're seeking for success in your business and getting more profit or getting more productivity and performance result, you need to establish rapport with your people, because 80% is psychology and 20% is only mechanism. So the most important thing in psychology is communication, and the most important thing with other people is how to establish rapport. So if you don't have the skills, this is kind of, you will start getting back and you cannot achieve things in your life. And it's also better, it gets you better relationships. If you're seeking fame, if you want to be a more lovable person, and if you want to be like someone social that everybody likes, this is the best key and the best skill that you need to learn. If you don't have the skill, you'll start losing people around you. You say, gee, how can I make this person love me, or how can I be famous here? So come on, it's a more important skill. And this skill gives you power. It really gives you, if you want to be a great leader, you need to understand people. You need to communicate with them in a better level. They need to feel relaxed and they need to feel motivated sometimes with you. So if you need to lead and if you want to get power, you need to have rapport. And if you don't have these things, it's kind of weakness. You will lose people, you cannot control on things. So rapport is one of the most important keys and element that you need to master in your life. It's important for you to use it with your kids. It's important for you to use it in your personal life. And more than that, if you want to achieve something in your life, you need to establish rapport with people. As I said, the quality of your outcome, the results that you bring in your life with people, it's all based on your quality of rapport. Okay. Now, what do I mean by rapport here? It's basically creating a certain feeling, which is a positive feeling between two persons. And this feeling cause harmony or cause certain introduction to each other, makes people relax from each other and start having certain entanglement with their heart and in their mind and thoughts. Now, there's a very beautiful say here. There's a quote that says, people who are like each other ending up liking each other. People who are like each other ending up liking each other. So those who are like each other starts liking each other. And we can see that in our life. For example, what made you go with your friend, hang around with him and spend your time and energy, maybe resources with your friends? Because there are certain qualities that you share. What makes you go and get with a bunch of people and do certain activities? There are certain values and interests that you want to do together. Okay, let's take it in even in countries. Come on. I mean, people like in different nations, they categorize themselves into even cities. Like for example, Asian people live with Asian people, Western people lives with Western people. What made them this? Even if you travel anywhere around the world, in States, in UK, even here in Bahrain, so you will see that every city has certain people are living with certain quality and characters. What make them all together? They share the same identity, they share the same language, they share the same culture. So people who are like each other, ending up liking each other, being together. So this is one of the steps. We need to understand this is one of the keys elements. Okay, let's be more practical now. How can we start establishing rapport with people? Let's take the steps. Okay, number one, you need to absorb and understand people. You need to absorb and understand people. You need to use your sensor equity, your visual sensor equity. You need to understand the body language. You need to understand and calibrate their physiology, how they look like. If a person is like this front of you, that means certain things. If a person is like this front of you, that means something else. So you need to understand. Sometimes you need to shut up and just absorb things. You need to look at things. You need to hear in things. You need to collect certain information. So you start absorbing and understanding other people. So that's step one. Just shut up and listen and absorb. Step two, you start what we call, we start pacing. We start pacing. What do I mean by pacing? Pacing is basically start pacing certain attitude in the other person. So you can pace physiology, which is the way that he looks like. His physiology, basically, if he's happy, you start being happy like him by shifting your physiology. If he sits in a certain way, you sit like him. If he starts breathing even in a certain way, or his tonality is in a certain way, you start pacing the same thing. So this is one step. You start pacing. So that's number two. And even you can go deeper and deeper. You can pace his values, you can pace his beliefs, you can pace his interests, and that's what starts going into the third steps. Once you success pacing, but you have to be smart here how to pace. You start continuing pacing. You continuing pacing and show the interest for the other person until you reach in a level that you start establish rapport, which you start seeing the feelings between two person goes high. You know, there is this kind of interest between two. And what I call the harmony. You can start seeing the harmony between two person, and you can even see that by calibrating the body language. You need to understand how the other person is like interest and with you, and he went to the mood and went to the flow. Once you get successful here, there's a very critical step that happens after that, which is leading. If you got successful in creating this harmony feeling, you start leading in a different way. And you can see, you can even use calibration here. By how do you know that the other person is lead? By using also your physiology, or using even your thoughts. For example, if you started moving in a certain way and the other person moves in a certain way, that means now he is into it. Now you are the leader here. You leaded that guy according to his emotions and feelings. And even if you can go better and deeper level into leading, by doing what basically? By having a suggestion. If you have an idea, if you have a project, and if you want to do this project with a certain person, I told you in the beginning, your quality of your outcomes is all depends the quality of your rapport. So if you have quality in your rapport, you will have better outcomes. So once the harmony, you get successful with harmony, you start suggesting certain ideas and thoughts or even projects, and you start leading the person to another project. For example, now, are you interested to have the skill more and to master this skill and to start understanding so deeply so you can be successful and have better life and to have better results in your life, you need to master the rapport. That's what leading is. So you go, yes, I want. So that's what leading comes into it. So rapport is a very important skills. So what you need to do is go outside and practice. The question goes for you. What is the next step? Who is the next person that you will start establishing rapport with? Go ahead. The first person that you see, go and establish rapport with them. So I wish you a very good time and enjoy practicing this method. And it's a very, very beautiful skill that I gave you right now. And life is all about skills, and you need to improve those skills. Thank you very much. That was Lu'ay Al-Khaja from Bahrain, and I'm very happy to share this information with you and wish you all the best. Thank you.